the fastest way to stay broke as a photographer is to become a better photographer. Sounds stupid, right? But that's exactly what most photographers do. Every time they are struggling to get clients, they either lower the prices or spend another year obsessing over the photography. They look into upgrading their gear, improving editing and compositions. Meanwhile, the photographers making the most money often are not the best photographers. They've simply learned the skill that actually gets photographers paid, which is business. Hi, I'm Hugo. When I got my first ever gig, I got like 50 euros, so this is like 60 bucks. And I did a shoot for my relative, and I took thousands of photos, and I had no clue to how to price myself. I knew that that wasn't going to be the highest ever paying gig because I was just still practicing. But in 2023, I got paid about 17,500 USD just for one project, and it necessarily wasn't any more work than when I got paid 60 bucks. And now, a couple of years later from this, I have helped multiple photographers get 4- and 5-figure deals. In this video, I break down why you must start charging more as a photographer. And now, this isn't another video where one would say, charge your worth, because that's complete nonsense. Nobody will pay you what you feel you're worth. You must be able to actually communicate that. And after this video, you are much more confident that you must raise your prices right now. But before we dive in, if you are somebody who does want to understand how to make photography your full-time thing without burning out, discounting your work, or relying on luck, then get my 7-day full-time photographer roadmap from the description. It runs through the framework I wish I had earlier. Let's dive in. So, understand first of all that better photography does not automatically equal higher prices. That I've met a ton of photographers whose work is incredible, yet they charge a fraction of what worse photographers charge. After a certain point, photo quality matters surprisingly little. Clients are buying outcomes, experiences, confidence, trust, memory, status, transformation, whatever applies to your niche. I want that you really understand this. That of course you must be good enough to charge, but then once you are good enough to charge, then the small improvements in your photography don't really make for that much of a difference. And if you are struggling to charge a lot, then you shouldn't be focusing on improving your photo quality a little bit, rather improve your business skills, because that's gonna allow you to charge much more. And that's what the professionals know. So why skilled photographers charge less than they could? Well, first of all, they lack confidence. And if you can't say a price with confidence, then, well, it's not going to go well for you. You must be somebody who has confidence to say a price. And business overall comes so much down to confidence that if you just show up and you say things with confidence, it is much more likely that things go through and you actually get what you're looking for. But I feel the second thing here that is like the most kind of common thing here is that they're just scared of hearing no. And the thing is, we humans all don't like rejection. That is just a natural thing. We don't like being rejected. And thus, many people hesitate to say prices that could get them rejected. But the ironic thing about this is that sometimes if you charge less, it's going to be making it more likely the client says no. And this is because there are certain type of clients that don't want to work with somebody who charges less. That they want somebody who looks professional, who is an expert. And if you are somebody who charges very less, does that communicate that you are an expert? No, not really. It looks like you are a beginner. So understand that you saying a higher price might make it more likely that you actually do get a gig. But in order to do this, you must know how to sell and how to overall, sell your work. And most don't know how to do that. And when it comes to sell the hearing no, it's understandable that one would be scared of that, because if you don't have clients coming in, if you don't have any consistent income, then understandably you would be hesitant about quoting more, because then in your mind you have higher chance of getting a rejection, and then if you don't get that deal, then no money is coming in, so you default to discounting your work. But again, this is shooting yourself in the foot. And yeah, the third point here is that you don't know how to price. That if you don't know how to price properly, then, oh well, that's a challenge. And the thing is that it's not your fault if you're confused about pricing, because there's so much bad pricing advice out there, and photographers, yeah, especially here on YouTube, are making it sound so complicated on how to price. Yes, there are processes to go about it, but you don't need a like Excel calculator to figure out your pricing. That's complete nonsense and making it much more difficult. That's what I was thinking back in the day, what I must do, that every time I need to run through some Excel to figure out pricing. That's not what you have to do. And then, fourthly, the skilled photographers, they do believe that indeed photography skill automatically leads to more money. But that's not true, because photographers who are kinda good might be earning a lot of money, as where then very good photographers might be the ones who are struggling, and they have learned the creative side, but not the business side. And if you just use your brain for a second, if you want to succeed in business, which skill is more important? Business, right? All right. So if nobody is buying, lowering your prices is usually solving the wrong problem. And I really want that you also understand this. Because imagine that somebody is saying like no to, well, not this in euros, but say to $1,000. What makes you think they'll suddenly flood in at $800? Yeah, there probably won't be a massive increase in clients, if any increase in your clients. The thing is that if somebody is saying no to your pricing, then very likely the issue is actually in one of these three things and not the price itself. So first, your challenge could be targeting. That imagine you go to your local flower shop and you say, I can take you one photo of your flower for $1,000. They might laugh at you because that's ridiculous for them. But then if you go to Nike and you say, I'm gonna get you one photo for $1,000, they're gonna laugh at you because it's so little. Understand, targeting is one of the most important things in business. If you target a client who doesn't have money, then that's gonna be a problem for you. Then you won't be running a simple high income business. But then on the other hand, if you are targeting clients who have a lot of money and they are very happy to spend money, then it's going to be easier for you to make money. Just simply changing who do you sell to is what can unlock you much more income. And the beautiful thing about this is that it doesn't require any more work from your end, because you're just changing who you target. So it's not about working more hours. When you just change who you target, who you provide photos for, is when you can more easily raise your price. Second thing, which might be holding you back, is proof. Most photographers do have proof, and what proof here means is that just proof that you can say what you promise. If you say to clients, I can take this kind of photos for you, but you don't have any photos to showcase, then are they gonna trust you? Probably not. So you do need some proof. And if you don't have proof, then you should go and get the proof as the first thing. And this is where most photographers get angered. They get rage. Let's see if here's going to be in the comment section somebody raging about me saying this. But free gigs can be good at the beginning, because if you don't have proof, then it is much more harder to get paid. So you need proof to make really good money. Somebody might pay you a little bit without much proof, but if you want to get thousands per client, then you need to be able to prove that what you say is something what you can do. And then also when it comes to not just showing your visual skills, but then also showing like testimonials from clients. When you have testimonials, all sales become easier because now it's not you saying like, oh, I'm amazing, but when others are saying you're amazing, that makes all sales much more easy. Third thing, which might be holding you back, is sales. If you don't know how to sell, then how do you imagine you're gonna get much sales, right? But look, this is honestly the thing what blows my mind, because when I was starting my business over 5 years ago now, I didn't understand this was really a thing, that you have to learn a proper process for sales. I was like listening and hearing this advice that I send an email, then I might get a reply, and then I send them like a PDF with pricing. But that's horrible sales. So if you are somebody who doesn't understand the full sales process, how that goes, how to communicate with the client, you don't have a framework or a script on how to handle things in the sales process, it's not your fault, because there's so much bad advice when it comes to sales. So if you haven't learned about sales, this is likely a big bottleneck for you, and you need to fix this in order to get high-paying clients. And if you're somebody who doesn't want to try to figure this out on your own, endlessly guess what should you do, I rely on luck, then DM me the numbers 1-to-1 on Instagram at Geography, and let's see if I can help you build your freedom photography business through my mentorship. If you do not have Instagram, just take a short mentorship assessment from the link in the description, and you will see if my mentorship could be a good fit. Next up, this is the biggest lie that photographers believe, and it is that they need to work more to get paid more. And this is partially what we already covered. Just by like changing who you target can make for a massive shift in your revenue, and you don't need to work anymore. This is a good comparison between the broke photographers and the freedom photographers. So the broke photographers, they have endless amount of shoots, they have a ton of editing, and they are just like had enough of it. They are like burnt out, they are working weekends, and they just have endless client work. They have like an enormous amount of clients who are paying very little, and they just feel burnt out and they aren't actually enjoying it anymore. And the freedom photographers, they make easier money, they are working less, they have better client experiences, and easier, more consistent business to run. What this means is that when you do charge a lot, then one, it is easier to work with those clients. This is what I didn't believe in the beginning. But when somebody pays you a lot, they don't micromanage you as much. It's much more fun to work with people who pay you a lot. It doesn't need to be any more like stressful working with people who pay you a lot. They just are easier clients to have. And this is what you will also experience when you do get your first high-paying client. Then is it when you have a few high-paying clients, then you don't need to work as much. Because if you do have, say, 3 high-paying clients, then you do some shoots and you're done. And you are earning well. Instead, the broke photographer, what they do is they have to work endlessly, because if they don't get a lot of clients, a lot of work done, then they aren't making good money. So understand, when you charge a lot, you only need a few clients. But if you are charging very less, then you need a lot of clients. And when you have a few great clients who pay you thousands consistently, this makes your life easier. And business is actually fun. And there are those business people who say like, you need to hustle endlessly and this has to be difficult and stressful and stuff. I'm not one of those people. I believe business is and should be fun and simple and something that gives you freedom. That's how I see business. So understand, charging more doesn't change the income. When you charge higher, you get different kind of clients. You get clients who actually do value you, who respect you, who don't micromanage you. And likely, then you get to also work with brands and companies that you dream of, because they don't work with beginners. They work with experts who charge a lot. Then your stress levels, they're gonna go down. Because let me tell you, when I wasn't charging a lot, I was having much more difficult time making money. But then when I started charging more, then everything got easier. And I just knew that if I just get to like 1 or 2 clients, then it's like my income just goes so high and stress levels are so much lower. Then your lifestyle is easier. You get to spend time with your loved ones. You get to spend more time taking photos overall, like maybe for yourself, not just for clients. And you just have fun. And very importantly, your relationship with photography is going to be much more healthy. Because this is what most photographers do. You might have heard of some photographers saying, "Oh, I regret going full time. I wish I wouldn't have done that." And if you hear them say that, then likely they just didn't learn to run the business in the right way. They built what I call a prison photography business instead of the freedom photography business. A prison photography business keeps you just burnt out, busy all the time, and you don't actually have fun, and you slowly lose the love for photography. But when you build a business in the right way, then you build a business that is fun to run, simple to run, and it allows you to have the same love for photography as what you've always had. In general, higher paid photographers enjoy their loves more. That's just how it is. And you can get here more easily when you raise your prices. But now you might be asking, when is the right time to raise the price? And the answer is here that it depends. That if you are targeting a client who has a lot of money, then maybe right now it is the time to raise your prices. Because if you, again, approach a client who is making a lot of revenue, whether that's a hotel or some other kind of company that just has a lot of money, they don't want a beginner to help. They want an expert. And they are turned off if you quote less. So then, by just charging more, quoting more, then they actually probably get more interested in working with you. But you can kind of only do that if you have now some proof. That if you don't have proof, then get some proof first. Whether that is now proof that you can actually take the photos what you promise, or then ideally you also get some testimonials. So when you do have proof that you can deliver what you promise, that's when all sales becomes more easy, and it's so much easier to get people to pay you a lot. And now you might be asking, well, how do I exactly price? Like you said, Hugo, that it wasn't supposed to be really complicated and difficult. Well, I do go through this in this video, but more like about how to price. So what's the next? But before that, subscribe, leave a like, and now go watch that one.